Hi, you guys. I have an announcement. So I've been working on my own channel. I actually have my first video up. So if you want to come on over and say hi, the link is going to be down below, and it's also going to be right after the video.
This is a really important video. We want to make this as shareable as possible because there are still millions of people being misled and misinformed by the mainstream media. So in this episode, we're going to pick apart an article about Tesla's third quarter sales data written by Jim Collins at Forbes. Jim, if you happen to watch this video, this is nothing personal, but in my opinion, your professional work is trash. With that being said, the invite is always open for you to come hop on the channel and talk about Tesla anytime you'd like. But please consider sharing this episode with friends or family members who are still new to Tesla, who are looking to learn more about Tesla, so that they can understand they cannot trust every article that they read from the old, popular, reputable places like Forbes, CNBC, and the like. Times have changed, things are different. There are ulterior motives going on. There is a lack of true education about Tesla and their business model. And the independent journalism, by far, in my opinion, has now exceeded the old mainstream media. So the world needs to know about this revolution as well. So the way we're going to do this is Ashley will read the excerpts directly from the article. So when you see her on the screen, those are direct quotes from this article.
Title of this article, Analyzing Tesla's Disappointing Third Quarter 2020 Unit Sales Data. First and foremost, it was a miss.
First and foremost, quarter three delivery data was not a miss. A miss implies that there was a target in play. The target was the Wall Street FactSet consensus estimates for what Tesla would deliver in quarter three. That number ended at 137,000 units. Tesla ended up delivering over 139,000, which last time I checked is greater than 137,000. Thus, it was not actually a miss, it was a beat. This was a successful third quarter number.
Tesla's own material shows an annual rated capacity of 690,000 units as of the end of the second quarter of 2020. That implies a quarterly run rate of 172,500 units of capacity. So on a year-over-year basis, in the third quarter of 2020, Tesla sold 43% more units, but added 57% more capacity. The corporate utilization rate continues to decline.
All right, let's do some basic math. Tesla's Fremont factory shut down for 6 weeks in the second quarter, all of April and 2 weeks in May. This means there were about 54,000 units potentially missed during shutdown at Fremont alone. You just take Tesla's annual installed capacity from Fremont, which, as you can see, is 490,000, and you divide that by 52 weeks in a year to give us roughly 9,000 unit weekly capacity at Fremont when operating at max capacity. We then take the total quarterly of 172,500 minus the roughly 54,000 units that were missed during the shutdown to give us roughly 118,500 units. So doing that simple math, if Tesla produced anything over 120,000, that would be somewhat of a success given that their main factory was shut down for 6 weeks. And yes, that 6 weeks was during quarter two.
Focusing on the first part of the calculation, I would note that Tesla faced major tailwinds in two of its three main geographies, US and China, as the recovery from COVID-19 lockdowns clearly produced a pent-up demand situation for autos.
So here we have James arguing that a global pandemic was creating pent-up demand for Tesla purchases in the third quarter. Let's be gracious and just give him this one and say that there were a few people that were planning to purchase a Tesla that weren't able to because of lockdowns. Even if that's true, I wouldn't classify that as a major tailwind for demand because it's not factoring the millions of people that lost jobs from that very same pandemic that could have been in the market for an auto that now were not because they didn't have any income. But all of that aside, if you don't know, you can actually buy a Tesla online and get it delivered in a touchless fashion. There's no going to a dealership, interacting with people. You can do it all online. The pandemic did not shut down the internet the last time that I checked. The main reason there's any pent-up demand for Tesla is because they cannot produce batteries or cars at a fast enough rate, and get them to the places across the globe where the demand is. But for any inquiring minds, the only place where Tesla production actually exceeds the demand is for the Model S and X at Fremont.
VW's ID3 dominated Tesla's Model 3 in sales in Norway in September. I would look for that domination to increase and broaden to other European countries as the fourth quarter proceeds.
Let's take a look at these numbers from Norway. The overall passenger plug-in car registration numbers that he was referring to, 12,689. So yes, Jim is making a big deal about one country with a data set total of 12,000 plug-in cars sold. 12,000. So what does he mean when he says dominated? Let's have a look. The Volkswagen ID3 sold 1,989 of those 12,000 units. The Tesla Model 3 sold 1,116. The total Tesla brand, by the way, sold 1,439. I don't know about you, but I personally would not call that dominating anything. And the ID3 just started deliveries in September and was taking pre-orders in the weeks before. So if you want to talk about pent-up demand, I think this would be a viable place to do it.
Oh, and another thing.
Tesla is making cars for Europe all the way across the world in Fremont, California, and shipping them to Europe. Let's wait until Giga Berlin is up and running to see what's what in Europe.
Oh, and another thing.
The ID3 starts at $25,000. The Model 3 starts at $35,000. At the base level, there's already a $10,000 price difference, so comparing these as apples to apples is not the best comparison.
Oh, and another thing.
German auto magazine Auto Motor and Sport was able to conduct a review of the ID3. Let's hear what they had to say. Reviewers noticed that their review unit had panel gap issues and inconsistent alignments. Hard plastics were also abounding, which made the interior sensitive to dirt. Build quality issues were eclipsed by problems with its tech, which the magazine reviewers described as unfinished. The magazine mentioned a slow infotainment system, a faulty navigation system, inconsistent voice control as examples of the ID3's tech problems. The electronics show clear weaknesses. The infotainment system starts up slowly. The navigation system often remains disoriented for several hundred meters. The system does not call up online services at all. The 10-inch monitor is relatively far away from the driver and is therefore somewhat difficult to operate. Switching to voice control is not much fun because the system does not work properly and quickly. The magazine also mentioned that while the ID3 was able to manage a range of 359 kilometers or 223 miles during their test, the results were only possible when the team drove the car very defensively. Once the test included motorway and city driving, the ID3's efficiency fell, resulting in the car being empty after just 260 kilometers or 161 miles.
So that's how analysts, as opposed to screaming buffoons, do our jobs. Channel stuffing is fine, but it leads to hangover periods in the first month of any quarter. This is evident in Tesla's registration data from Europe.
This is just ridiculous because anybody that actually gets into the data and knows Tesla knows that during the first and second quarters of the month, they make their cars for Europe. Toward the end of that second month, they ship the cars on the 3-week trek to get them to Europe. So in the third quarter of the month, they typically have the highest sales data. Thus, quarter 1 and quarter 2 will be a little bit lower because that's when primarily they're making the cars to ship them overseas. But guess what? Giga Berlin will be online here in the next few months. So in 2021, that will change. They'll be producing cars locally like Volkswagen is doing right now at the Zwickau factory in Germany. So comparing sales data for the ID3 and the Model 3 is ridiculous. It's not apples to apples. Tesla is shipping cars across the world. Volkswagen is making them right in Germany. Not the same.
So Tesla's originally stated dreams of comfortably exceeding 500,000 units delivered in 2020 are dashed. Tesla would have to deliver over 181,000 units in the fourth quarter to exceed 500,000 units for the year. They won't. Tesla has zero chance of moving 500,000 units in 2020.
Once again, us in the Tesla community know that Tesla does indeed have a non-zero chance of hitting the 500,000 delivery mark for the year. And yes, I'll be the first person to say it will require near perfect execution and avoiding unexpected headwinds. However, Collins himself just said they have a stated run rate of 172,500 units per quarter and they do have some level of excess inventory from Q3 units that they could not deliver in time, 6,000 to be specific. So that would put them around 179,000 right there. As we know, Giga Shanghai is ramping, and it is well within the realm of possibilities that Tesla hits the 500,000 delivery figure this year. So I'm not in any way trying to argue that they're easily going to deliver 500,000 cars, but I'm saying they have a non-zero chance to do so, unlike what Jimmy has said.
The problem here is that the fourth quarter is typically a slower period for auto sales, especially in Europe. So seasonality is a headwind for Tesla in the fourth quarter in terms of consumer demand. That's the important factor here, not how many units of questionable quality Tesla can produce. There is no such thing as unlimited demands for cars.
As you can see on the screen, this is just factually incorrect. Historically, Tesla had sequentially their best quarter every year in the fourth quarter year after year. No one is arguing anything about unlimited demand. However, EV sales are still roughly 2 to 3% of overall sales. If the trend to 100% electrification over the next 30 years continues, there is a sense at this stage in unlimited demand. It comes down to how fast they can produce batteries and how quickly they can lower costs.
Strong debut of VW's ID3 in Europe has completely stolen Tesla's BEV thunder on the continent.
This is just laughable. If you want to talk about a thunderous smackdown, I would prepare for what's going to happen when Giga Berlin is online in Europe.
Early orders for the VW's ID4 and Polestar 2 show that real competition, with due respect to the Nissan Leaf and Chevy Bolt, is finally coming to the BEV market in North America.
Back to the competition talk. We already talked about the ID3 in that situation. Now Jimmy wants to talk about the Polestar 2. The Swedish portal Dagens Industri reported all Polestar cars delivered so far would be recalled, meaning almost 2,200 electric cars built by the Volvo subsidiary. Following reports of problems with the all-electric Polestar 2 after delivery started a few weeks ago, Polestar confirmed that they detected a software error in the battery power control module, which in rare cases and without warning can lead to a loss of drive. Competition is coming for Tesla has been the mantra of Tesla shorts and screaming buffoons for years. Yes, it is coming. And guess what? It sucks. So far, the BEV competition for Tesla has sucked. The cars in production are not on par with Tesla. There are some potentially promising cars on the horizon, I'll give you that, but there are no produced cars that are competing with Tesla's numbers, period.
I will publish my fourth quarter estimate for Tesla in the future column.
I have some news for you, James. Myself and most other people watching this video don't really care what you have to say about Tesla's Q3 financial data. I suggest that you either A, educate yourself about Tesla's business model and try to learn and be a helpful member of society, or 2, whatever your ulterior motive by shorting Tesla shares or supporting the oil and gas industry may be, I suggest that you change it because you're literally leading thousands of people astray. You're misinforming many people because the uneducated community, which is still at large, go to places like Forbes and CNBC to get data on companies like Tesla. And when you're their main source of information, you're the reason that they won't invest in Tesla, that they won't have more retirement savings, that they won't be able to buy superior products. So I suggest you change your approach. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for today's episode. I hope this was informative. Please share it with a friend or family member who is still skeptical about Tesla because of the mainstream media. Keep this in mind in the future. There are plenty of great sources of information that are not CNBC, Forbes, and the like. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.